come on now. Aren't you embarrassed? Like, are you not embarrassed? I don't understand the concept of wanting to convince people that you made something which you didn't make, because there's no point in this technology other than to convince other people that you're some great artist and you drew this when you didn't.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me. The thing is, okay, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing over and over and over and over and over again, thinking this time is going to be different. No, please. This time is going to be different. And it's not like I am fucking crazy. It's okay. It's like water under the bridge. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Okay. I want this to be my last vid on AI. I initially did a video about AI voice covers and how there's a lot of complications surrounding it. One being that people that could have done it find themselves or had legitimate reasons to not to were not asked, nor did they consent to their voices being emulated. And then I talked about the whole social media AI stance and Cara, and then I decided to make a video about the post discussing AI traced art and how to spot it, which surprisingly it took off, and I actually got to see some people's different takes and opinions on the matter, which I appreciated. But after I did that, sometime later, what do I find? AI speed paint, AI animation, ultimately just... This stuff has made me really depressed about going back to drawing. It hasn't taken away my drive, but I just don't feel like I'm in the right headspace to create right now, unfortunately. So, because of that, I want to sort of get myself out of this slump, and I feel like the best way to do that is sort of stop this. I don't really know how else to put that. Like, I want to distance myself from talking about AI and get back to discussing stuff I genuinely enjoy alongside making stuff I enjoy. Before and above everything else, that is what I wanted my platform to be. A place full of stuff I enjoyed making, I enjoyed talking about, and I enjoyed doing. Not a constant bitch session about how AI is being misused by scumfucks generating easy images and scamming people out of their money, instead of being used by artists to help aid in the creative process, such as using AI for references, while keeping the art itself in the hands of the artists over and over and over again. I'm getting sick and tired of coming back to this topic. Not simply just because it depresses me, but also because I feel like a broken fucking record. Like, I keep saying stuff that ultimately I feel I've already said or people have already said for me. Legitimately, when it comes to AI being used in artwork and everything, the one thing I've pushed for consistently is actual innovation. Not a face value facade for short-sighted options in creating art by attempting to make artists obsolete. Tatiana from No Straight Roads was right.
You didn't compete with my artists on a level playing field. You merely set up a circus act by hijacking their concerts. It swayed public opinion, all right, but it was all flash. In truth, your music revolution agenda is nothing more than an act of impulse. Tell me, how do you intend to run the city if you win? What about the hundreds of NSR employees who'll be thrown out of work? Have you considered the inevitable insurgents from the people who still genuinely love EDM? Can you really run the city under those circumstances?
Yeah. If I did a video talking about the whole AI now has speed paints, what do we do now? I feel like this would just be a never-ending shit show of trying to prove to people that we're artists and we're real and we can make art. As opposed to AI bros who are doing everything they can to prove what they do is real and they can make art. Just a light at the end of this goddamn tunnel, that's all I fucking wanted. And for now, I think I may have found it. And if nothing else, I encourage more people for the time being, until we can finally see laws being put in place to handle this matter in favor of the art industry and the community, to spread the word on about what I have come across, if you haven't already. A while back, I got sent this vid about the aftermath of those contests where AI art won, which brought up a good point. I did hear about some of them winning, but nothing else, and yeah. A lot of people were pissed off about this, understandably so, especially looking more into it. But honestly, if you want from me, I would recommend watching this video if you haven't already, because they actually bring up a story regarding a photographer and AI that I think is actually cathartic to find out about, especially after all this shit that's been pulled. But anyway, the point is, I noticed something when I was watching the vid that interested me, and that is a program called Hive. Up until now, outside of the generic look the images give, I have been noticing the jank and inconsistencies of the tech used to generate images as a way to spot AI, and that's been working fine for me. But more and more, I've started to notice a bigger problem in that the styles the tech takes from is making me second guess artists I've never seen before between if they just use AI or if that is their art style that's come with years of experience. So, when I found out about this program, and that it apparently could tell if images were artificially produced or not, I looked into it and tested it out myself. And honestly, if nothing else, it has made me happy to know that programs like these exist that are able to tell the difference between original works and images that are put through programs like Stable Diffusion. Of course, before just jumping on this, I did test it out, because yeah, like I know technology isn't perfect or anything, so I didn't want to just jump on this without actually seeing for myself if it works to begin with. But I did test it out. I used my work, both recent and old, most notably works that I used to trace poses for when I was starting out with digital art, and all of it came back to me telling me that they were original, which it actually brought up my confidence. Look, it might seem stupid to some people, but legitimately, just something like this is just, I just needed something like this, okay? But back on topic. After I did that, I tried searching up just any anime girl, because apparently that seems to be the popular thing that I'm seeing. All with these specific body types as well. But yeah, it all came back with high results. And out of curiosity, I tested it on works by Sakimi-chan. You might be asking, why specifically that artist? Well, what I've noticed as this has become a more popular issue is that the look the AI seems to generate, especially when it comes to anime characters, is very, if not almost incredibly similar to the style artists such as Sakimi-chan creates in her works, right down to the poses and the faces. anybody who wouldn't know better would probably mistake it for AI art. And if I didn't know who Sakimi-chan was prior to the tech coming out and being more popularized, I probably would believe it too. But that's assuming that I don't do my own research into finding out if the artists are real or not by looking up their history and whatnot, but that ignoring that. But lo and behold, I tried it out with the program. And it can tell the difference. Now, to be clear, I don't want people to take me at face value on this. I'm not the Metatron of the art world. I'm just an artist that is getting tired of this shit. So I understand if people are going to bring up that, well, Hive has their flaws and faults and whatnot. And I'm not gonna really fight that, because I am aware that technology has its flaws and faults. And if for whatever reason Hive is shut down in the future, programs such as this are probably gonna age like milk. I understand this. But I will say this if nothing else. I think having programs and applications that are made to properly detect and be able to differentiate original works by artists and AI-generated images is a valuable asset to have. Especially if you're running official art contests where people submit fan art and so on. Or even if you're an admirer of art who is commissioning works and doesn't want to be scanned by somebody who's doing everything they can to convince people they make art, when in reality, it's just an overly complicated way of showing how sad of a person they are to go to these fucking lengths, instead of just owning the fuck up to what they're doing. And since I want this to be the last time I talk about AI in a vid like this, I'd like to leave on this note. I had asked my art friends if I could show off one of their works, provided they were comfortable with it. I asked around, nobody really got back to me, but when I got to my friend Sion, she said that she was fine with it. And her work, right now, I'll tell you, like, when I look at it, I will 100% say it is not perfect. And there is absolutely room for improvement. But when time passes, whether it be days, weeks, months, even years go on, and my friend shows up in my DMs or even in my circle and makes another artwork by that time, you know what it'll tell me? It will tell me that they got better. It will tell me that they are still hard at work and keeping their passion alive. And that is something that, regardless of what anybody who defends this text says, this is something that I genuinely believe they will never be able to know what that feeling is like. And comparing to the images AI bros try to show off, well, yeah, it's not perfect, it's not photorealistic. It ultimately feels like, for my friend Sion, there is room to grow, there is room to improve. But when I look at shit like this, I don't see room for improvement. I just see imitations of genuine articles. Husks of lifeless images that are written off to be perfection. And I have to tell you the honest truth as I see it. In this world, nothing perfect exists. It may be a cliche after all, but it's the way things are. That's precisely why artists will pursue the concept of perfection. It's infatuation. But ultimately, I do have to ask myself, what is the true meaning of being perfect? And the answer I came up with was nothing. Not one thing. The truth is, I despise perfection. If something is truly perfect, that's it. There is no room for imagination, no space for creativity or ability or improvement. To artists like us, perfection is a dead end and a condition of hopelessness. Always strive to be better than anything that came before you, but never to be perfect. That's the kind of people we are. We take joy in trying to exceed our grasp and trying to reach for something that in the end, we have to admit, may be in fact unreachable. You AI art bros may think that we as artists operate on the same level, but you're wrong. When you attempted to achieve perfection, you embraced an impossible concept and already lost to us. That is, of course, if you are indeed artists to begin with.